Hey everyone, Stephen, TheSalonGuy here, and today I've got a request that's been highly requested, and also you guys are telling me that there's no tutorials on him, and so I'm super excited to bring this to you guys today. This tutorial is on singer Ed Sheeran, and he's got really cool hair, and he's a great singer, really amazingly talented artist. So I'm ready to go, and I hope you guys enjoy this. Let's get started. Alright, so we're going to start in the back of the head, and we're going to take our first section, which is going to be, it's not going to be down here, but it's going to be right here in the corner. Alright, because this will establish pretty much and set us up for the whole rest of the haircut. I think this is a good place to start here. So let's hold it out, I'd say about an inch to an inch and a half from the head. And we're going to cut straight down like this, okay? Then you're going to work your way down into the bottom, and you're going to simply keep your hands pulled straight out from the head. This is basically 90 degrees, but right into the corner here, you want to just pull it out a little bit more and just over direct just slightly like this, so it leaves it about this length like that, okay? Then you're going to take your next section like this, push this hair out of the way, and you're going to comb this again straight out from the head like that, and we're basically going to be following the same pattern, okay, throughout the entire head. And that is going to help keep consistent. It's going to keep us on track with where the length needs to be and the shape as well, because his hair, it's got a nice little texture to it. It's got some flips, some movement to it. Also, almost even looks like it's a little bit curly at times too. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to continue this, all right, panel by panel, working towards the middle of the head. What we're going to do is we're going to take a piece from your previous section. All right, we're going to do a traveling guide, okay, because you don't want to over direct too much. It'll leave it too heavy in the middle. So just continue working in this manner throughout the entire this side of the head, and then when you get to the middle part, we'll check back in, and we'll continue to move to the other side of the head. Alright, so now we're in the middle of the back of the head, and at this point what you want to do is you want to change your hand positioning so that you're coming over the hair now, okay, and you're cutting on top of your knuckles like that. Alright, and then you're going to be able to just because for your body positioning, it's better to position yourself for success. So it might be a little too much, and you might be raising your arms a little too high to get up into here. So it's easier to then cut it where you can follow the head shape and make sure your elbow is in a good position. But then you can come back in and continue cutting palm to palm throughout the rest of the bottom of the head. So now we're on the opposite side of the head. We work towards about right here, and now I want to pick up right about here just to make sure that everything is well balanced. So again, remember last time I said it's about an inch to an inch and a half. Alright, so we're going to leave it a little longer throughout the bottom. So now we're going to cut up this way, and we're just going to establish our length right in through here. So this is the best way to get better at your senses of how how much hair you need to cut or how long you need to leave it, based on just going by feel, okay? Because we have no really guide at this point. We're creating our own based off of what we did on the other side, okay? So we're going to just continue the same exact technique, working in through the bottom like this. And you know what? When you get to the middle, if things are a little off, then you simply go back in and recut it, okay? So follow this pattern until you get to the middle, and then we'll see where we're at. Alright, so now we're ready, basically at that point where we're meeting and we're crossing paths now from both sides in the middle. And this is basically what's going to really tell us how close or how off we were. And I'm just going to follow this pattern of blending everything in the last section here, and we'll be able to tell just in a minute. So could you continue this pattern working this way? Yes, you can, but sometimes you get kind of lost in through here, so it's better to kind of restart and then go back. So I'm just a little bit off here. It's just a little bit longer on this side, which I kind of expected. Everybody's got good sides and bad sides. This is more my weak side, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to now go back in and connect everything. Now as far as the bottom goes, as you can see, this already pretty much established our length for us. Alright, the way we held it actually created a nice kind of soft, piecey texture that Ed has, which is kind of cool. And so we did basically all of the work in one shot like this. See? All right, so now let's go back in, and now we're ready to connect this and blend this in through the top. All right, now we're ready to connect the back into the top, and what we're gonna do is we're just gonna follow and continue rounding out the head shape, because what's gonna happen is up here, it's gonna be longer, but that's also added weight. So we're actually gonna get rid of that, and we're gonna round that out, okay? And I like to follow the pattern where we're going around the head shape, because you do have to make sure this blends in all the way throughout the entire back into the front. Okay, so just I'd say go this far. You don't want to go too far in through the corners yet, because right now we're going to focus mainly on the top here. So just continue to follow this cutting technique where we're pulling it straight out 90 degrees from the head, and this is really just blending everything in. Okay, so we have a soft blend, and that we can then move on to the actual top. This is how I always connect everything, okay? So now let's go right in through the top here, okay? Now I've seen it where he's had his hair a little bit shorter on top, where it's been a little bit longer. So let's create a look to where it's about, I'd say, an inch or so on the top of the head, all right? So pull it straight up from the head like this and cut straight across, okay? Here's our top right here. And I would even go probably a little bit shorter. And it's okay to go a little bit shorter because, you know, his hair does have a little bit of length and texture in through the back. Then it gets a little bit longer right into the very front. So this haircut has a lot of dimension and symmetry to it, and kind of some different lengths too. All right, so what you want to do is just go back right into this section, right into here. All right, and then just work it in to where it is a little bit shorter. That's all you're doing. You're just cutting it a little bit shorter right into this area so that it has a nicer blend and also a little bit shorter look. So now we can continue working forward towards the front, and we're going to hold everything basically straight up like this. All right, and we're going to cut straight across. Okay, just like that. Continue to do that when you're about right here, because we're going to leave this a little bit longer. Alright, so now we're ready to go in through this part, working forward. So here's what we got so far with the back, okay, like that. And now we're going to cut shorter to longer, okay, going towards the face. And how we're going to do that is we are going to go straight down. Okay, here's the front of the head, here's the forehead. We're going to go straight this way, alright, because we want to leave a little bit of length into the very front. So what we're going to do is we're going to comb this straight up like this. Take a nice section right down the middle here. Not too thick either, all right? And you're gonna extend your elbow up, all right? And you're gonna cut like you're cutting towards the ceiling. That's the best way to describe it. And then you finish that off by going all the way to the very front again, all right? And follow the same pattern. And there's your guide from before, and you're cutting going up that way. Now it is gonna leave it quite a bit longer in the front, but that's okay, all right? That's fine, because we can go in and cut that a little bit shorter afterwards. So take this next section, and then what you want to do is just kind of pull it towards you, towards the center, which is going to leave a little bit of length in through here, but that's fine because we don't want to cut too much. We want to make sure that we have enough hair that we're not cutting too much off, okay? But we also want to make sure that we're blending and connecting everything in, which we'll do when we get into the very corners. So over direct this all the way to you, right in the center. That's going to preserve the length. But now look what we're doing. We're creating that texture. Do the same thing, okay, on the opposite side. We're going to comb this towards the center now. There's the guide from before. Again, you're cutting towards the ceiling like that. And that's where your elbow is pointed. The one that's actually holding the hair. Anytime you lift your elbow up, that will tell you and help you as far as where you're going to remove weight or you're going to build weight. So I'm just going to finish this section here, and then we'll be ready to move in through the corners and the sides. Alright, so we've got this taken care of. This is pretty much done right in through here. We still have to go a little bit shorter, but now it's time to work on the corner here to remove this weight and also soften this up here. So what we're going to do is we're going to basically hold this straight out from the head, and we have that guide from the corner. Remember that we cut before? So that's going to act as our guide for the length, which is really cool. So we've we're ahead of the game, because now we can connect the back into the front. So simply all we're doing is pulling it straight out, and you can start at the very, very bottom here. All right, there's the guide from before, and we're working right up towards the top of the head, and we're just simply following the head shape, okay? And there's a corner, and we cut that corner out. All right, so it allows it to have that kind of piecey look like he has. And we're just gonna continue to do this into the very, very front. All right, get right down into here above the ear like this, holding it to where it's probably about, I'd say, an inch, no more than an inch and a half, you know, from the head, because that'll be too long. Okay, round it out right there, and there we go. And then the final section right here in the front, just over direct it back towards you, just a little bit, and there you go. Okay, now with the front here, I mean with the sides, we have this little piece, as you can see, right in through here. I know he does have his a little bit longer, so what you want to do is just basically just come in and chip into it like this, and then you can piece it out if you want to go a little bit shorter around the ear, like that too, if you want to just do that, which I'm going to just slightly bring it up a little bit in through here, but he does have it a little bit longer right in this part right here, okay? So now we've got this to work with, and don't forget we have to do the other side too. But now we've got this to work with, okay? We'll come back to this, actually. Finish this side, and then you'll have a clear picture of what we got in through here. All right, so now we've got the very, very front here, and we're ready to kind of blend this in and connect it. So what we're gonna do is and here's the piece right here through the corner, and that's gonna be our guide, okay? But what we're gonna do is we're gonna point cut like this, all right? And we're gonna leave it slightly on a longer angle coming towards this way, okay? So what you're gonna do is you're now gonna kind of angle your hands coming down like this, and that's gonna leave this one side just a little bit longer and create a nice, really cool effect. And it's also actually gonna connect this in, all right? So here we go. If any little pieces that are left, then you can soften it up, okay? But here's kind of the look that we're going for, like this. All right, now what I want to do is I just want to soften this up a little bit coming this way, because you are going to have some hair. So we've got some hair to work with right in through here, okay? And what we need to do is kind of get rid of this weight in through here. So what we're going to do is just we're going to point cut into this front section that's a little bit heavier, and that's going to also help, and you can see it right there. See it? That's what you need to get rid of. So we're point cutting, and you're closing the shears on the way up, just so you don't cut yourself. So continue to do this throughout the front section here. All right, and then what we're going to do is we're going to dry it, and then we're going to texturize it even more. All right, so still have a lot of work to do here on Mr. Sheeran. So what we're going to do is we have to get rid of a lot of this weight and even some of the length in through here, okay? But it's okay to do it when it's completely dry, because that's the best way to get rid of it, especially with texturizing. So I've got texturizing shears in through here. What I'm going to do is I'm literally going to start cutting some of the weight off like that. I'm also going to take out some of the length too as well. And you do that by just simply holding that piece and just keep cutting at it and cutting at it, all right? And that's just going to really texturize it really, really well, okay? And there you go. You can also do this way, which is going to help get rid of a lot of the weight and add that kind of texture. So you're holding the hair at the base, and then you're just going in and chopping into the ends like this, all right? That's going to remove a lot of weight, and it's also going to take away some of the length as well, which is fine because we left ourselves a lot of room to work with, okay? And his hair definitely can use this style, definitely use some texture. So in through the sides here, again, same thing. So let's go throughout the whole entire head and just really, really get rid of some of this excess weight. Take it a little bit shorter right in through here, again, with that method of just going in and chomping on it and using the shears to really help remove that weight and texturize it. And then we'll be ready to style it. Now, one last thing, in the very, very front, okay, look at all the hair that's coming out. And don't be afraid. This is definitely good for someone who's got a lot of hair. But don't forget, in the very, very front, his is a lot piecier in here, okay, and especially into the sides here. So we're gonna do the same thing right into the front. I don't want to skip over this part. All right, look, see what it's doing? It's already creating that texturized, piecier look that he has. Okay, so in through here, just go in, and wherever you think it's heavy, that's where you get rid of it. All right, on the sides and the top, wherever you think it's needed. All right, but do make sure you leave this kind of a little bit longer in through here, because that's kind of how I've been seeing him wearing it as of late. All right, so now I'm going to go with a product called Clean Cut, and it's a paste. It's relatively tacky though. Okay, I'm taking about a finger scoop worth, and I'm just going to work it through my hands like this. All right, and this is what it looks like. It's definitely, see, you can see the fibers there. It's pretty tacky. All right, what you want to do is just literally start working the product in throughout the whole entire head. All right, and again, this is going to give it that kind of texturized, PC look, and it's going to bring out that texture that you cut into the head as well. All right, and as you can see, what this is doing already, see, it's bringing out that that look that he has. All right, it's from the haircut too. Remember, the haircut is really what does all the work, and the product just brings it out. All right, so just continue to kind of work this in. All right, just like that, as you can see, depending on how extreme you want it. And there we go. This looks pretty awesome. Okay. Now again, his hair has been, you know, a few different lengths. I've seen it where it's a bit longer. I've seen it where it's a bit shorter. If you feel like this is too long, then just simply cut it a little bit shorter then. That's it. All right. But I'm just going to put the finishing touches on this, and we'll be back to see the final result. All right. So I am just going to spin this around like this. So you can see we've got the texture in through here, going all the way throughout the back. All right. This mannequin has a lot of hair, possibly even maybe more hair than what he has in real life. But you get the gist. I just want you guys to get a feel of the haircut and how it's done. Alright guys, I hope you guys enjoyed my tutorial on Ed Sheeran. Please, if you can, like the video. It means a lot to me. Since I mentioned it in the last couple videos, you guys have been hitting the like button, which really means a lot. It means that you watch a video and you're into it. If you don't like it, you know, leave a comment. If you like it, leave a comment. But I love hearing back from you guys. This is a really cool request, and thank you to the people that asked me for this, and I hope this really helps you. So I'll see you guys next time for more tutorials with the Salon Guy.